What's going on, folks? Give me yo private code. How are you doing, brother? Give me a second or two. Let's give me a little bit to share the message. Yada yada yada. And let's get the party started. Yeah. Excited for the stream. Happy to hear that, brother. And thank you for tuning in. Karan, Big Dog, how are you doing, dude? I'm great excited to hear about the Misfits quite cool concept of giving people whitelist. Yeah, what the fuck is up with that, right? We had them on once. And GP Dog, what's up, brother? I mean, let's see. It's gonna be interesting. Oh shit, I fucked up. Give me a second, because more than anything, I haven't even like put in like the count on Clockaroni. Boom, boom. Bob, how are you doing, brother? Happy to have you. Countdown to date. How does this not work? 23 hours. No, Athens. There you go. Yeah, it's been a while since we streamed chat. I've been busy, but make no mistake, I've been cooking. We got some huge announcements, and you'll see. I think you'll like it. Actually, I'm quite sure you're gonna like it. There we go. There we go. Boom. So the real question is like, what have NFTs been up to lately, right? Seeing small little correction in the market. There we go. I mean, that looks pretty good. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. I mean, I think it's fair to say that shit is going precisely as planned. Boom. Nope. Well, I mean, like, who are these misfits, eh? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out in a little bit. But I think it's going to be good. What I like about these guys is they seem to have like a very different concept of starting their own kind of NFT project, to where it's literally a free mint. Literally a free mint. And all they care about is like getting it into like the hands of like the right kind of communities. Which is, if anything, so interesting, right? And you know what? What I really like about the project so far is, I mean, like, no one whoops, this is not where we should go to. There we go. No one is gonna get like any worse from this, right? I am very curious to see and to hear like what their plan is. I'm very curious to know what the what the idea is at the end of the day. There we go. Having said that, if you guys have any questions, right, let me know in the chat if there's anything you guys would like me to ask. Well, I'm one of you guys, right? So let's ask the tough kind of questions. X.com, boom. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's fair to say that so far, Misfits, it's a free mint. They're only following D Gods, Devils, Econito, whatever that is. Primates, Drifters, Medievals, and Rogues. So, I can only imagine. Oops. It makes sense to just like shine a light on these guys. Oops, no. Oh my god, I need to. Boom. So in a little bit, we are joined by their founder. THC, where I'm shitting on the porch. Yeah, I'm gonna. No need to threaten me, mister. Where the fuck is THC? There we go. Mr. Champ, how are you doing, brother? So guys, Misfits, I've no fucking clue about the art, but I'm intrigued. Who do we have like whitelisted so far? Rogues, medievals, drifters, primates, eco, Nito, devils, and D-gods. Small little side note that many friends of the show, the best show. So let's see what this is all about, right? Like, looks kind of anime, looks kind of. I mean, like, I'm equally not gonna lie, I have no fucking clue what I'm looking at. But like their go-to-market strategy is like very, very, very interesting. I know who their founder is. Just a little tip here. Just a tip. And I mean, guys, let's have them explain, right? So again, if there's anything you guys would like me to know, to say, to tell them, to ask them, to whisper them, let me know. But like, you know what, like it's gonna be interesting, right? Like, I think like a free mint might just be the meta, and I kind of know like how it's, I mean, like, you can literally not get like any worse from a free mint, right? So let's see what this is gonna look like. Only 14 minutes. So yeah, until then, let's just like scout the market right here, right now, real quick. I mean, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, let's see. Today is going to be the day, folks. Bouts from these levels, and I think we can be very happy. But let's see. I would kind of assume that the floor is pretty thin, which it is. Quite thin. I mean, interesting, right? Like, NFTs are definitely like shaping up a little bit. This may be a new Foxy's project, but I like the free mint idea. They only collect money from the royalties and tools. Yeah, which is fine, right? Like, you cannot hear, or like, you cannot hate on that. Or at the very least, like, I don't. I do not know how you would hate on that. And I lost my fucking cable. Where's this? Where's this motherfucker? Oh, never mind. Brody, how are you doing, brother? Tensile floor pricing coming. Which project are you talking about? Chronic Gigots? Oh, shit. Also, do not mind me shilling, but like I cannot help myself. For fuck's sake. Folks, tomorrow we have geckos. Huge. Geckos is like also something I'm extremely looking forward towards, right? Boom. And I'm gonna also like give you guys like a little something better to look forward to, right? On Wednesday, I'm gonna have primates over, and potentially, because I do not have a life, I really don't, you guys. I really don't. I don't have a life. This is my life. Like crack addicts, I need to supply you your crack being NFT content. I like, this is my mission. I feel very, very, very strongly about this. And I mean, like, you guys are addicted. Let's just call it like it is. And I'm going to supply you guys with the best content I can possibly make. So, potentially, we're going to have Glooms over on Wednesday as well. Also, if there's something or someone you would like me to have over as well, just let me know, okay? Shark's coming. Yeah, I mean, like, Shark got delayed, right? I'm not sure what to say on that, but you know what, guys? I just don't fucking care anymore, and like that's pretty much where I'm at. I don't shoot me, or don't shoot me actually. Yeah, like I like Glooms. The only thing I got kind of sketched out about is the fact that they got like I think their branding is really, really, really cool, but they also had like a bunch of Pokemon, and I think that's always like kind of I'm not sure if I like that, just being honest. Let's see if there's anything crazy on the floor. Chronic, if I want to get myself like a grill or like something signed, or like, I need you to guide me there, brother. THC Lab's looking dirty, folks. I mean, geez. This is actually sick. Wait. No financial advice. I am autistic. I am not able to be your financial advisor, right? I cannot be any more real than that. Anyone taking financial advice from a guy with a cat mask on will make you kind of retarded. But when it comes down to just like NFT takes, like I would argue that they're fucking second to none, folks. Deal with it. I said it. You can hate on me whatever you want. I'm telling you, like, do not follow my financial advice. It's out there. But I'll also fucking tell you guys, when it comes down to these NFT takes, good luck finding someone who outworks me with the same kind of fun, with the same kind of autism. Let's just call it like it is. I kind of feel that THC Labs is looking good. And I'm not saying that because I happen to like Chronic personally. Sometimes I think like he's actually going a little overboard. Chronic. Maybe we should have like a discussion on that. No, just kidding. But like, I think it looks good in first hand and shoulders. But the technicalities, who gives a shit, right? Like we don't. By the way, Chronic, I think I already have a scaling. They're not really utility NFTs, but they're not utility NFTs. They kind of are. They're a little bit. They're dynamic NFTs, right? And I think like that's kind of like it's not the same as Planet Kaiju, but like similar in the way they read my X posts. Everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous, you shouldn't do anyone harm, you should sheath your competition instinct, you shouldn't try to win. Wait, I should actually like because like it's a Jordan Peterson kind of quote. Everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous, you shouldn't do any harm, you should sheath your competitive instincts. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't... You don't want to be too assertive. No. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and that you should learn how to control it. Oh, that's Jordan Peterson for you guys, folks. Chronic. Well, there you go. Oh my God, you got my hands all sweaty, brother. Jeez, man, that made my day. You should be an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it. There's a short for you. Clip it. Oh, fair. Well, you know what? Jordan Peterson is like one of those guys who is both cringe and like makes a point, so I'll take it. Kind of feels similar. Let me just share the link. Oh man, I miss streaming. I'm happy to be here, folks. Fuck me, am I happy to be here. Yeah, I hear you, Bob. It might not look like it. It's just like a lot of work, and it's hard to combine it sometimes. That's not an excuse, but sometimes you have like some in real life kind of shit popping up, and that was this weekend. So yeah, but like I'll be more active during the weekends as well. It would be nice if there's more like I don't deserve a break, Bob. Like first off, like there's so much to achieve first. But just so he knows, so you guys know, I have not been sitting still. We've been cooking. We've been cooking like a motherfucker, actually. More news coming soon, as well as well, I mean, like we got like some amazing guests. We have like MISFITS. We have Geckos tomorrow, potentially Glooms tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, shit, we have Primates. We do it all. We gotta outwork the competition, and the competition is fierce, but I will tremble them all. We will tremble them all. And having said that, exactly at the right kind of at the right moment, we got Hyuga coming in. So folks, as always, let me tone down like the music, that way we can still upload this to YouTube after. There we go. Let me tone down the chat. Hyuga, I will put you on in a minute. Yes, Chronic. Be the monster you want to be. So yeah. All right. Boom. Comments off. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Boom. That's that. Oops. No. There we go. Hyuga, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Happy to have you on, brother. Like, it's been a few weeks, right?
It has been. It has been. Let's just say a bit more planning went into this one. The last one was nice and spontaneous.
Yeah.
But happy to be back, man. Thanks again for having me.
I mean, like, the pleasure is all mine, brother. Like, you guys been on a roll. Like, I believe you were like very successful in like generating a whole bunch of buzz. Like, how have you experienced like the past few weeks?
Yeah, it's been I'd say a very busy. It's April 18th, right? Was the first official post, I think, from the Misfits order, and it's been extremely busy daily since then. Right, I work a 9 to 5. That's pretty busy. I get home, I try to get a workout in, and I'm pretty kind of steadfast on making sure I do that. But then, I sit in front of my computer and it's Misfits until I sleep. Right,
Yeah.
I have a full schedule that's been pre-planned from the first post until the mint date, which I haven't announced yet. But without saying what it is and when it's going to be, I'm announcing the mint date very soon. and it's been very, very busy. I think just deciding what to post, refining. I'm ranking, re-ranking communities for whitelist on a daily basis. I go through this thing where I have this Chrome extension where I'm able to export comments to posts from the Misfits orders or X account. I run those through AI, and every day I rank and re-rank communities. And it doesn't just go by who's tagged. It also looks at the PFPs. It looks at the bios. So if somebody has that they're a holder of this or that in their bio, or a mod in this or that in their bio, it tracks all of that. And that's been the catalyst for the 7 communities I've announced so far. There's many more to come. The next announcement is going to be 5 communities in one shot.
Dang.
But many more communities are going to be whitelisted before mint date.
You know what? Like, and what can you? I mean, like, obviously, I'll always try to unlock like a little bit of alpha. But like, is there anything you can tell me about like the amount of communities you're targeting?
So, I think the website would kind of give it away, right? So right now on the website, misfitsorder.com, you'll see the 7 logos of the 7 whitelisted communities. But in total, there's 24 squares, right? So you've got 7 logos, and the rest have TBD placeholders. Obviously, in my list, there's more than 24 at the moment. And kind of the ranking, especially near the bottom of that list, keeps changing. Iconito, for example, I'd say it's been a short period, right, since the first post, but they came in relatively late, right, in terms of awareness of the project, but they really showed up, right, and they showed up real fast, real quick, and made it to the last announcement. So 24 is what I have in mind at the moment, but it's all subject to change, right? And then I'm getting messages and DMs from people and comments from people who don't hold in those communities, right? I think my position at the moment is the floors for some of those are very accessible at the moment. I'm doing daily snapshots, and I've said that there's going to be a final snapshot 24 hours before mint. So today, the easiest way to whitelist is to have an NFT, hold an NFT from one of those whitelisted communities, but more will come. But I am thinking, and I might do this, I might not, so I don't want people to quote me for it. Some individuals who have shown me love and shown me support, I might allocate whitelist to individuals on a case-by-case basis, but for now, the decision is to stick with, pure full community whitelisting.
Yeah, that makes sense. So like communities, you're talking about like NFT communities, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that it works, right? So I'll go with Rogues, for example. They were the first collection or community that I announced as being on the whitelist. All any holder has to do is join the Discord. They get automatically verified with Matrissa or Matrika. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And that's it. That's literally it. As long as they continue to hold, they'll be in the snapshot and they'll be able to mint. They'll be on the whitelist for mint day.
Let's say I would have like a wallet which is whitelisted. How many NFTs would I be able to mint?
I haven't announced that yet, right?
Okay.
But it's coming. It'll be a generous amount. My intention is to, let's say, kind of over allocate whitelist to an extent, but not go crazy with it, right? I want to make sure that everybody can mint. I would rather have a few left over for public than have whitelisted wallets who can't mint.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, like, that's interesting. Yeah, I think like because like last time you were on, we basically mostly chatted on well, like I remember your biggest concern was like, well, I hope I'm gonna be able to mint out, which is so interesting, especially since it's a free mint, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
and I think when we talk about 5,000, I have a plan for the 5,000, right? And 5,000, I think, even for a free mint, and I'm under no illusion that the Misfits order, while it's been getting some traction, and we have over 500 followers on X, purely organic, went from almost zero to 500 in just a few weeks, with a lot of people engaging with every post. That's all great. But those numbers don't translate to a 5,000 supply mint out yet, in my opinion, right? But in a few days, um, in exactly a couple of days, actually, and I guess that's the alpha, right? So watch out for a post from Misfits Order on the 13th.
Ooh,
A big announcement,
that's
right? There's an announcement of the launchpad, which is agreed to feature the Misfits Order. There's an announcement on mint date, on the mint phasing, the supply, and the mint per wallet, right? So all of that is coming into a single announcement on the 13th. So that will answer a lot of the questions. And I think without ruining a certain surprise that comes with that announcement, um, I feel comfortable, a lot more comfortable today on minting out than I did a couple of weeks ago.
interesting, man. Well, I mean, like, you know what? Like, what really intrigues me about your project is the fact that it's going to be a free mint, right? And because, like, well, I mean, let's just call it like it is. I think, like, I remember most free mints to be just, well, horseshit. And I think with the way you've been going at it, I'm very much looking forward to what the project is going to be like, because like you guys seem to be like incredibly methodological. I don't know, I'm just a stupid
Methodical,
European
yeah,
nerd. Yeah, methodical. Well, there you go.
very much so. I'm a planner in general. I'm
Yeah.
very meticulous, and I have a full daily plan. Things change, but it's a full daily plan on what I'm going to do. I spend months working on the art, before deciding what to do on it. So, um, it was I'd say, a brave decision to say that the art stays unrevealed. But I've been in this space for a long time now. Coming on 5 years almost.
Yeah.
Um, and what I've seen with projects that will show you teasers, will show you sneak peeks of their collection. They save the grails for those, right? And then people mint, and some get disappointed. I spent a lot of time on every single trade. There will always be floors, but I tried my best to not have obvious floor trades. I think there's things that will work for different people. Um, and I think some people in the space, through previous projects I've been involved in, through some of the fan art I've been posting, have seen my art and my style.
Mhm.
So small number kind of can expect, or have an idea on the quality of the art. But I have no doubt people are going to love what they see.
So here's a question, because like there's other art you've already made, right? Like, is there anything we can just like browse through, just like to give the audience kind of a, well, kind of a somewhat of a clear vision as like what art style you hone?
So it's not really similar to anything else. I think I've posted some of the silhouettes on the website, right? And
Yeah.
um, I mean, the last project before that I had was called Alloy, and it was an art only project, that was minting for 0.01 SOL. And what
Yeah.
that was, um, essentially, I redrew a Mad Lad base, so a Mad Lad body and facial shape, I'd say, and then mashed it up with traits from famous foxes, from DeGods, from primates, and so many other Solana projects. So you're able to see kind of a Mad Lad body with a primate clothing, with the DeGod hair, and I redraw every single trait from scratch, make sure they all worked together, because some of these needed a bit of adjustment to fit on different body types and so on, and body sizes, I'd say. Um, Another one I worked on, and this was a collab between um, Zombies DAO of the Bored Ape Solana Club and
Yeah.
and Pack of Primates, and that was a project called Bored Primates Solana Club. So that was a free airdrop as well, 777. It's listed in Magic Eden. You can search for Bored Primates Solana Club. I was the artist behind it. I drew it, and then I handed over the project to Zombie DAO of Bored Ape Solana Club Basque. Bored Primates. Try shortening There it is with the Zombie DAO logo. You can scroll down.
Which one?
There it is, third from the bottom.
There we go.
Yeah, and this is basically a mashup of a Bored Ape with a primate
Gotcha.
face, right?
That's interesting.
And that was the collab between the two communities. So you had Basque traits, you had primate traits, all kind of mashed up into one. And I drew a bunch of one-on-ones for it as well.
If only Magic Eden would just like load.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I like the art. Wait, let me. Oh my god. We'll have to do it like this. It looks interesting though. You drew this?
I drew this all from scratch, right? So what you'll see is the outline is a Basque, is a Bored Ape outline. But then the body features are primates, and then the rest of the traits are a combination of both.
That's very interesting, man. I mean, like, the big question I have, right? Because like I've heard like many rumors of, well, about what you're going to do. We had like a brief discussion on this, but like, is there any kind of specifics you can give in whatever way, shape, or form what the plan is?
Sure. Are we talking about kind of the plan to mint or post mint or the wider vision?
Yeah, the wider vision for the project, because you know what, like I respect the fact that you cannot say all too much, right? Like you got your go-to-market strategy, and like rather than, well, poking the bear, if you will, I'd rather just that's not what I try to do. Like I try to shine a light on like new projects I find interesting. And like jeopardizing a potential launch is not like something on my bucket list. But what is on my bucket list is to get people hyped and looking forward to whatever technology is going to be attached to this. Is there anything you can say on like the post mint plan?
No, I can say quite a bit, and I've shared bits and pieces of it as well. So it's really built on three things, right? I'd say there's three pillars to this. One is the MISFIT tools, and that'll be the first thing that kind of goes live post mint. And this is a long list of tools that are useful for people in the Solana ecosystem, I say, right? It's some of the tools are fun and people can have fun with them. Some of the tools are more for creators, and some of the tools are for mods and those types of people. I've already posted about the first three tools that are going to launch very quickly after mint. These are tools that have been fully developed, that are ready to ship. The only thing that's pending is we need to mint out so that I can complete the gating for those tools to MISFITS holders, right? So the three tools that I've announced are a holder snapshot tool. So it's a tool that allows you to take snapshots, but what I've built into it is you can also take a snapshot of two communities and see which wallets hold NFTs in two different projects. So for example, which wallets hold both primates and rogues, or both DGods and mad lads, and so on. Another tool is one that I'm calling Soul Pulse, and this is really, it's a real-time Solana technical analysis tool, um, but kind of rewritten in very plain English, right? So you can look at things like the RSI and Bollinger Bands and volume trends and a lot of that stuff. But what the tool gives you is red and green signals on which one is a bullish trend and which one is a bullish trend, and then explains to you kind of what that tool, what that indicator means in very plain English. Because I've been also a part of Discords where they talk a lot about this, and given my day to day, I understand what that means, but I know that a lot of people don't, right? And people see candlestick charts and things like that, and they don't know what it means, right? So I'll give you one example, right? I just opened up the tool here, the 50-day SMA, right, which is the simple moving average. Right now, the tool tells you that it's bullish. It highlights it in green, and it tells you that you take the last 50 days of closing prices, you average them, you draw a line. If the current price is above that line, things have generally been going up, and vice versa. And it explains it in a very approachable way, right? So people are able to follow that and learn very quickly. The other tool that I've announced is a P&L tracker. And I think I've tried a bunch of NFT P&L trackers. I believe this is the most powerful. And the reason is you can put in your wallet address, but then you can put in a bunch of other wallet addresses that you own, which might have been burners and things like that, because P&L trackers break once you transfer an NFT from one wallet to the other, right? My P&L tracker can look at all these wallets, go back and find out how much you paid for it. And for me, when I ran it on my wallet and my burners, the hit that I've taken over these 5 years was truly an eye opener, right? And you get an overall kind of P&L on how much you've made or lost. You could narrow it down per project, how much, or per collection, how much you've made or lost, and you can look at it per NFT as well, right? So these are the three tools that are going to ship day one. But like I said, and I'll give you a couple of examples. There's a meme generator where you can very quickly and easily generate memes using your Misfit. That's a fun one. There's a tool that I'm calling Swap Scout. That's a tool that will analyze a swap, right? So people are swapping NFTs all the time. This will look at both sides of the trade, or let's say potential trade. We'll look at things like floor prices, trade floor prices, things like that, and just give you an idea of potentially who's winning in that trade or in that swap, right? And how fair that swap is. And there's many more. Right? And those tools I tend to spend a lot of time building out over the months that follow Mintas. That's one pillar. The other one is the Misfits lab, and the lab, from a development perspective, is up and running. I've tested it with Alloy. I've had some of my friends in the space test it with Alloy. It's fully functional. Just needs to be reconfigured for Misfits post-mint. And what that does is it allows people to purchase new traits for their Misfits. These will be, some drops of traits will be themed. And I think I mentioned last time, the World Cup, for example, I'm in the process of drawing, the jerseys of every single team competing in the World Cup. And people will be able to purchase those for their Misfit and equip them and update their Misfit on chain. And we're talking about nominal fees of 0.01 or 0.02 SOL per trait. And then the third one, that kind of feeds off of the lab and the tools and secondary royalties, is staking for Solana, right? So I've already opened up a treasury channel in my Discord, and the treasury wallet will be made public. And I've said in Discord that I will be publishing quarterly reports on all the ins and outs of the treasury wallet, and people will stake for points. Points will earn a share of Solana. of the revenue that the project generates. So me as a founder, um, it goes without saying, I'm going to be one of the whales of Misfits orders. I'm going to hold a lot of Misfits, and my Misfit will make the same revenue every other Misfit held by every other holder makes. Um, in terms of when we distribute and how much, time will tell, right? Um,
Sure.
but this is the vision, and this is the idea.
That's interesting, man. So, like a very like to the point kind of question: would you be competing with the likes of famous foxes?
So I don't think so, and I don't think I can compete with them, right? I think I'm building some tools like Snapshot, for example, which they have, but then I'm building a few others which they don't and are a bit more fun. Some of the tools that I have in my list, and in all transparency, I haven't started the development on yet, but some of the tools are going to be useful for people running Discord servers as well. Um,
Mm,
but I think what they've done in terms of I think they're the number one in the space, and I'm under no illusion that I'm going to try to compete and displace them. Um, what I'm going to try to do is things that are a bit more fun, while giving people access to some similar tools as well. Where the entry today for this is a free mint, uh, there's a slightly higher barrier to entry when it comes to famous foxes.
mm,
But I would
sure.
never stand up and say I'm trying to compete with a project as established as they are.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, but like it's in the same kind of field a little bit, right? Like apart from like who's bigger, who might win the race, if you will. Like it- at the end of the day, like it's NFTs plus utility, right?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And I think um, I've always said kind of the biggest utility of any project is art, right?
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
that's what gets people kind of in through the gate and hooked in the first place. And I've been rugged personally many times, but even when you're rugged, usually the art tends to stay. Um, so I see what you're saying, right? But I honestly haven't thought of it that way myself in terms of trying to compete with somebody like Famous Foxes.
Yeah, I hear you. Like you know what? Like time will tell though. Like it's gonna be like really interesting, right? Like it's I think like if you're gonna I truly believe that like art is the heart of like these kind of projects. At the end of the day, like it should be fun collecting, and that people should be looking forward to collect. And like I think it should be good enough to just collect for the art, and like anything whatever is extra is just potentially of a nice to have, right? And if you can make like the nice to have not good but great, it's I don't know, like it's just gonna be like interesting to follow. So here's a question to you: like 6 months from the mint, what are some of the things you want to have accomplished, and like when would you say like the mint, looking back, right? Like when would you say like the 6 months previously have been like successful in that sense?
Yeah, so I think so here's what I want to have done or completed for sure within the next 6 months, right? I
Mm,
think minting out, right, is the first one. That's the first hurdle. I want that will
sure.
be immediately followed by an art reveal, and I'm quite confident that people are going to like what they see. Um, we will launch the tools, the three tools that I talked about, and I think at least a couple, if not three more tools by then. The Misfits lab will be up and running. We'll have the World Cup drops and possibly more drops as well by then. But
Mm,
then what I'm hoping to do is full reveal of the revenue share model, right? And the launching of the staking for Solana model. And um, it's hard to say whether our first distributions of Solana will happen within the first 6 months. It all depends on what happens with kind of the secondary sales and use of the lab and all of that. But I think within 6 months, I want it to be very clear what this project delivers in terms of value, right? That people have access to tools that are fun, if that's what they're looking for, but also access to tools that are useful in other ways, if that's what they're into. I want people to be enjoying and anticipating drops in the Misfits lab. And I want people to kind of have a really good understanding of how they'll get paid for holding and how that works in detail and when that can happen.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna be interesting. I'm just like thinking, right? Like, because like the paying for holding, and like this is just my opinion, right? But like I think like a valid opinion nevertheless. Like, whatever will be getting paid other than staking an asset is just like a nice to have, right? Because like especially when floor prices are tanking and volumes will be all getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Not that I think that's gonna be like that, but that's when like obviously like being paid for holding an asset would kind of get into jeopardy, right?
Oh, for sure. I think we've seen those cycles, right?
Yeah.
And seen what happens to floors. We've seen what happens to volumes and all that during these cycles. And I don't think the Misfits order is going to be any more immune to those cycles than any other project out there, right? We're going to have to go through those cycles and we're going to have to ride them out. I think what potentially makes us a bit unique is that there have been a few projects that have kind of, for lack of a better word, let's just call it rugged, but that have run out of funds, right, to continue running the project.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen with the Misfits, right? Because our model doesn't rely on this project paying us back. There's no salaries to pay. There's whatever the cost is for hosting and infrastructure and all that, I am happy to bear, right? It's not an amount that will break me one way or the other or change things for me. What I've spent and lost in the space over the past 5 years would be enough to run, I think, 10 different projects at the same time, right? So I'm happy.
True.
Yeah, I'm happy to continue to do it because I enjoy it, right? Because I think more than anything else, people will, I hope, have the comfort that this project is really not going anywhere come high or high water, right? It's here to stay, to ride out these cycles. And when I suffer because volumes and floor prices are coming down, holders have to ride this out with me, and some will leave, new ones will like the new entry prices, and things will kind of evolve and develop like many others do,
Well, I mean, like, you know what, like, dude, just being real, I kind of feel like the way what you're presenting right now, and that's basically, sorry, because you're giving like many answers which are vastly different from other founders, right? Other founders would more than likely, use mint funds to pay salaries with, right? Use royalties to pay salaries with. That's not something which you'd be trying to do?
No, honestly, no. I think people get paid for holding Misfits, right? This is the model, right? And I think people who want to help out potentially because they're whales in the community will get paid for holding Misfits, and this is how I get paid. And I do this because I like it, because I've without sounding too too cheesy, I've fallen in love with the space, right? There's people that
Yeah.
I've met who trust me blindly. I just made a trade a couple of days ago. I asked somebody to set up a Foxy swap, and they're like, "Come on!" And they just sent me the NFT directly, and I sent them back. Not that I would recommend this, right? But these are people that I've never seen or met, right? And there's certain kind of charm about all of this, right? So I enjoy it. I love it. Um, and
You
this is
mean the
why
raw
I launched
dogging
this
part?
project, right? Sorry.
You mean the raw dogging a trade part?
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, like, but like to your point, I mean, like that's what is special in the space, right? Like, I have not been. I would not recommend this to anyone listening. But to your point, Hyuga, um, the fact that you've been actually that you're spending time with individuals and to the point where you can literally just like raw dog a trade with an anonymous dude on the other side of the earth and it actually goes well. It's actually quite special, isn't it?
It is. It's very special, right? And I don't know of kind of another setup or ecosystem that kind of facilitates this, right? And a big part of it comes with being in this space for so long, for kind of seeing ups and downs, and um, I think there's a personal satisfaction that I'm getting out of launching this. That I think, I've had things happen that I didn't like. I've had projects go away, and I've seen the highs and lows, right? I've sold a Mad Lad for over 70 so, right? But I've also bought a Primate for over 50 so, and
Jeez.
I've seen, I've seen promises made and over promises made. So I've been extremely careful, kind of, and selective about what I promise and what I do. I haven't promised anything that isn't. And I won't say just planned, but is like uh, largely developed, right? Like when I talk about the tools, there are tools ready to ship. When I talk about the lab, it's there. It just needs to be reconfigured for the collection once it mints out. And then when it comes to staking, it's a very straightforward model as well. And uh, you know, I don't want to tell people that you come into this because you can mint for free and flip it. I'm sure some might, right? But
Sure.
this is not the intention, right? This is something that I'm building that I think will be fun
Mhm.
and will be there to last, and just gives me a lot of personal satisfaction. I think, and I'm somebody who has done well in other parts of life where I don't need income from this to be able to keep it going.
I mean, like that's really commendable, man. It's it's literally like part of like why I wanted to have you on in the first place, not because like I think you're a good guy, but because I don't know, but I think like by listening to everything you're saying, and like you kind of get like you develop this kind of bullshitometer within the space, right? There's nothing to where you could possibly gain to where anyone else would be losing, and I think that's gonna be important. So like I'm really curious about like the way things are gonna shape up. I'm really curious to see what Misfits is gonna develop like because I think, honestly speaking, I think you could even look at a collection which would actually have would end up having like a way better floor price than some of like the more pricier mints because right now it's like kind of hard to mint out in the first place, right? So I think like this is actually quite smart and you might get to like a better result just like taking another path.
I think so. I think my whole thinking behind this was um, there's no reason not to mint, right? If you are in one of those whitelisted collections or whitelisted communities, um, there's no reason not to mint. But I also take that with a bit of kind of there's some responsibility to it because you free is not free. Free, yes, there are no mint funds for me or for the Misfits
Sure.
order, but there are going to be transaction fees and minimal launch pack fees with every mint, right? They shouldn't be
Sure.
much, fractions of a fraction, but it is something, right? So I've tried to make the barrier to entry as low as possible. Um, we need to launch and mint out, and really the sky's the limit, right? And there's a phrase that I've used, I think, in my website and in the handbook, um, which is future products. Um, because some people have been sharing ideas already when it comes to potentially some of the tools, ideas that I haven't thought about. Um, some might be beyond my personal development capability, but some
Hmm.
could. Some might be actually feasible and workable as well. So um, this is I don't want to call it a hobby, right? But I take the same joy out of it that someone would out of a hobby, right? Um, so you said you can't wait to see kind of how this shakes out. I can't wait to see how this shakes out. I'm
Hmm.
really excited, to be honest.
It's gonna be like very interesting and hell of a ride, and I think like there's gonna be like a lot of well, moments in time which will probably give you like the right kind of feeling of satisfaction, by like a better term. But I also believe that there'll probably be like a lot of frustration as well. Like, are you prepared for that?
For sure, for sure. I've been through it myself, right? And I'm a guy who can deal with the punches, right?
Yeah,
Without kind of giving away too much of what I do in my day to day life. But
sure.
a big part of what I do in my job is turning around failed businesses, right? It's a big part of kind of how I've made my uh, how I make a living, right? And when things go wrong, these kind of turnarounds is something I enjoy, right?
Mm.
And you don't have a plan, but when things go wrong, you need to come up with a plan and implement it and put it together and keep pushing. And the
Oh
first thing
yeah.
might not work, you have to come up with something else, right? In some cases, you just need to write it out, right? And we'll deal with those punches. I have no doubt.
I mean, like by the sounds of it, you got the right kind of background, right? Like again, like I don't want to speculate because like if anything, I think privacy is something to be respected. I mean, like hell, like there's a reason why I literally look the way I look, right?
Yeah,
But I equally believe, coming from like a VC background myself, it like there's kind of a playbook to these things, and like more often than not, like the methodology is like very 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 similar. So um dude, like if anything, I'm very excited to see your process. I'm super excited about the art. Let me just like from the collector's point of view get to something i want to I want to learn more about. Like, what about the trades, right? Like, do you have like your own grills? Are there one of the ones? Because we like to collect here. Like, is there any kind of alpha or like insights or anything you can share there?
sure. So there are no one-on-ones, right? And in the future, maybe we'll make honorary one-on-ones if there's a situation that warrants one. But for now, there's no one-of-ones, and there's no plan to do one-of-ones. What I've done instead is between pet traits and clothing traits, um, there are some that are made to match, right? And I'm sure you've seen them, like a spacesuit and a space helmet. Um, but there's a few of those, right? There's over 20 uh, combinations of matching traits.
Yeah.
So 20 clothing traits that go with 20 different head traits. And, some of these are anime inspired, some of them are superheroes, some of them are your spacesuit and things like that. Um, and the numbers of those with those matching traits are quite limited, right? For most of them, they're single digits.
Mhm.
Some might be around 10 or a dozen. Um, but those are the ones that are meant to be the rarest in this collection, right? Where you
Gotcha.
have a clothing trait with a matching head trait, um, and you know that you'll see them in very limited numbers across different skin types, different eye types, different mouth types, and so on. And these are, let's say, what I'm assuming will be the most sought after in the collection.
I mean, like, hard to argue with the founder, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, I'm looking forward to this, and I mean, like, dude, like, I'm telling you, like, I obviously we don't like have like kind of a NFT community, but like, if there's anything I can do to help out, or like something we can do together in whatever way, shape, or form, I'm all ears. At the end of the day, I really like I'm always like extremely cautious with mints, because like mints are, they're always like fucking tricky. Let's just call it like it is. But if you make the art yourself and it's a free mint, and you're developing a whole bunch of tools, I mean, like, no one can like, or like, please help me understand how anyone could be less because of this, other than if you'd be minting a drainer, right? But other than that, I don't see how.
Yeah, no, I mean we're we're going to use a tried and tested launch pad, so I think that will put a lot of those fears kind of to bed.
I mean,
But I agree with
the
you.
point I
I
tried
think
to make is that there's literally no fear. So
yeah, and I agree, right? But I think the one thing I'll say that has been my kryptonite in the space has been the marketing slash awareness slash hype building part of it, right?
okay.
Uh, I've done this purely organic, right?
Mm,
It's been 100% organic. Um, we had a push on day one with our first post on X. Again, thanks to kind of um, the time I've had in the space. The first post from X was, um, shared by the likes of rogues and primates and medievals and degods and geeks and many other projects
yeah.
in the Discords as like and asking their holders to raid and to share and to do all of that. So that gave us a nice little push in the beginning, right? And that was 100% kind of relationship driven. Um, and so you won't see kind of that first post which has a 1,000+ likes and all of that, but I like the trajectory we're moving in, right? And I think for a size of our collection and the number of mints that I'm going to allocate per wallet and things like that, I think we're building and growing. And we recently crossed the 500 follower mark on X. We have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 180 unique wallets on the whitelist at the moment. And I think in the time we have to mint, we'll get to numbers that make a lot of sense for free mint of this size.
Let me just like check my fucking wallet in the meantime, because like I cannot be left out here.
If you're in Discord and you hold any of those 7 NFTs, um, you should be able to just paste your wallet on the website and get a badge.
Gotcha. So like, for that, for anyone listening, just like get to the Discord.
Exactly. If you hold today, right? If you hold rogues, medievals, drifters, primates, degods, Iconito, or devils, just join the Discord. You'll get automatically verified with Matrika, I think is how it's pronounced. Um, and then we do snapshots every 24 hours, right? So if you just join now, I'm doing the snapshot in the next hour or so,
Mhm.
and you'll be there. You can just paste your wallet address on the website, and you'll see a whitelist badge, and the badge tells you kind of which community or communities got you the whitelist.
Gotcha. I'm trying to verify, but for whatever reason, like the Misfits agent says that there's something or like there's an error, this interaction field.
Oh, let me verify you.
My
Yeah,
my name on Discord is
using
just Cat.
NE6, and they just recently posted that their bots are having some issues.
Mm.
What's your handle
On Discord, it is catguy_soul.
Oh, you're there. You're verified already.
Really?
And yeah, and it shows you have primates and rogues and medievals and degods and Basque and
Oh yeah.
devils and many others. Yeah.
I simply don't have a life. It's true. You know what, Hugo? Like, we'll sort this out later. I see I'm whitelisted. I just cannot like type in like anything. We'll sort it out later. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah. No, so there's no chat, right? Just to let you know.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So if you look at a channel called Silent Room, and this is one of the other things I'm trying to do differently, right? Because I want it to be very clear that there's no kind of forced engagement or Discord farming or any of that. All you have to do is just show up, get automatically verified, and what I want to try to do is the opposite of what many other projects have done, right? So many other projects have their chats open and people are grinding and all that, and then when Mint starts, all the chat rooms get locked. I will open up a chat room as soon as Mint starts, So trying to do things a bit differently here.
I think it's the right kind of way, right? Like, so like, talk to me about this. Like, what are some of like the other things you're seeing being done in Mint right here, right now, to where you're like, I think that actually can be done better. And like, what are some of the things you're actually implementing, actively doing different from the rest in that sense, apart from obviously being a free Mint, etc., etc.
So I think the main message that I want to try to get across is that, and this is for Postmint as well, is all you really have to do is just be there and hold, right? And there's no expectations in terms of grinding and farming and raiding and doing any of that, right? Some people, have more time than others, and those who want to will do it, but those who don't do it shouldn't feel like, they're not collecting points because they're unable to raid as often, right? Or not climbing a certain ladder because they're not doing A, B, and C, right? It's really all about holding, right? So the more misfits you have, the more tools you'll be able to access, the the larger your share is when it comes to staking for Solana, right? It's that simple, and I think it applies pre-mint in that we're whitelisting full entire communities at a time. All you have to do is get in the Discord, and the only reason you have to get into the Discord is so I can have a snapshot and a list of wallets to put into a whitelist, right? But beyond that, Postmint, it's a very similar vibe, right? I want a very chilled, kind of laid back vibe. I don't want one where people feel there's expectations on them to engage in like an RT and farm and grind and all this. And it goes both ways, right? So at my end, I'll make sure that I'm always updating people, letting them know what's going on. And one of the things that I don't like is long periods of silence in some servers, right? Where you'll see an announcement and then you'll go for a few weeks or a month without one. I think courtesy announcements, even if it's just, we're still working on this or still getting through this, and this challenge came up, I think that goes a very long way. Um, so, keeping people informed is very big, very, very big for me.
I think that makes sense. Here's a question to you, like, what would you hope your community would form towards, right? So, um, let me give you like a few examples. I see DGOTS as some kind of a counterculture. Medievals is like pure autism having fun, right? What would you recommend, or like, how do you envision your own community growing?
I think we'll honestly land with a community of laid back, chilled diamond hands who love to collect, but also do a bit more than collecting, right? Who, buy and hold some Solana just in terms of having that kind of exposure when it comes to what they have. I think we're going to be lovers of many other different projects as well, not just Misfits. Um, I, I I don't know, to be honest. I mean, this is what I see, right? And
Hmm.
describing a lot of how kind of I would describe myself, right? When I
Yeah.
right, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think laid back, content, um, people who love art, right? I think this is a big part of it. I think people who will have fun working and changing traits in the lab and updating their misfits and so on. Um, and people who are be it more than just collectors, right? Some who are run communities or do some kind of support roles or mods or whatever in different communities and who find our tools very useful for what they do. Um,
Mm.
I think this is the kind of community I'd say we will eventually land with.
I mean, like, it's gonna be interesting. At the end of the day, I believe that all these things are very much like a top-down kind of thing, right? Like, as long as you basically like push the project like a certain way, you'll probably attract a certain kind of people, right? So, I mean, like, I'm very curious. I'm very much looking forward. Um, yeah, I mean, so last but not least, are you like that way? Would it not be kind of easy to get like partnerships like up and running, right? Like especially with like developers for tools, etc., etc.
Um, it could be, and I've had somebody um, who I believe is in the stream who's offered their support, and there's somebody who's built games and tools for another project.
Oh, I might know that somebody you're talking of.
Yeah, and um,
Yeah, he's a great guy.
he's amazing, and I think
Yeah.
um, there's been one other person who has, and there's a couple of other communities who have shown interest also in me developing a version of the lab for them, right? And if that's something we do, that's potentially another revenue stream for Misfits. But I think
Yeah.
for now, I'm focused on what I can deliver, right? And I think there's at least for the first 6 months that you described, there's enough or maybe more than enough to work on and deliver. I think if there are potential partnerships, very open, right? And we can always kind of pivot to something that helps us move faster and provides more values to Misfits. Um, we'll look at it, but it's not something I'd say I'm actively pursuing at this stage.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, like, strategizing is one, but like on the other hand, it's very much like a well, whatever is your first step, right? And like obviously the goal is to mint right here, right now, and like the rest is just like well, another worry for another time.
Exactly. I think minting out is the first challenge, and that's probably I think between everything I'm working on for Misfits, it's the most challenging, right? But I
Hmm.
think once we get there, and we mint out, and I have no doubt we will mint out, the way things are moving forward at the moment. Um, I think once we get there and we mint out, there's a lot that I'm doing, right? I've already put my leave in at work. I'm taking a couple of weeks off work to be able to focus on this almost 24 hours a day in the couple of weeks right after mint, or starting right before mint and after, to be able to launch kind of week one, week two things right out the gate. And then we continue to build from there.
Okay, man. Dude, like, I wish you like the very best. Like, I'm super excited. If you would pivot from the way of just whitelisting communities, we could like collab on something together to where it'd be more on like the individual or whatever. But that's just like details, honestly. Like, I want to see you guys succeed. I am super interested in the way like the art is gonna shape up, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to all of this. Like, very much mysterious still, right? That because more often than not, like, I have like these interviews where we go through the art and I can say like, hey, it looks awesome, or it looks like pure shit. But like, I'm excited about you guys. Like, I really am.
No, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. And I think we talked before about doing a giveaway on one of your streams. I think let's talk about that more at some point again.
Yeah.
And I see the kind of NFT cat as a community in itself, right? We just need to figure out the mechanics of how to get a list of wallets on a sheet and
exactly. And also like how to get it to the right kind of people, right? Because it was one time, I think with primates, that someone got it, who literally floored like a really good primate, to where I'm like, I don't want to like give opportunity to those people. I want people who are within these communities, who follow like this journey, because like they're interested in collecting Solana NFTs at the end of the day, and like those are the kind of people I would love to well, give an opportunity in those kind of things, right? But like, I'm definitely not gonna aim to just like airdrop something and be like, hey, like you're free to dump it whenever you want.
Yeah. It's hard to always and guarantee we can avoid that, but yeah, I think
yeah,
it's something to work with. Yeah,
for sure, man. Well, I mean, like, before we round off, is there anything we have not like touched upon?
I think we covered quite a bit, right?
Right?
I think, yeah, just, what I'd say is, for those who continue to be interested in Misfits and want to know what we're about and follow what we're doing, follow us on X. That's where we post first, right? And we announce everything as we go. We are in the phase of announcing whitelisted communities now as we go. We'll announce the launch pad and the mint date on X very soon. And more communities are going to be onboarded before mint as well. So odds are a large, I think, percentage of NFT collectors are going to be eligible for whitelist. It comes down to how many of them actually join the Discord to get automatic verification and are automatically included in the snapshot.
Are you in touch with Orbis by any chance?
I'm not, no.
Because you know what? I would love to connect you guys and see if there's something you guys could do, right? Like they're still in beta, but it might be a great opportunity.
It could be. It could be. I mean, if you could, I'd appreciate it. Are you talking about to Dak or to somebody else?
Am I talking about who?
is it Dak Days? I think
No.
from
It's the
that.
founder. It'd be Rico.
Okay, okay. Because I've seen him post about it quite a bit as well. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's part of the team. I mean, like, let's just like DM about this, but I am happy to see if there's something. I mean, like, the nice thing with partnerships that is that, like, if it makes sense, it's a 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing, right? And
Yeah.
who knows, like, it could benefit both communities. It could benefit, like, um, well, like, I don't know. Let's see if it
Yeah.
makes sense. But like, happy to introduce you guys.
No, I'd appreciate it. And exactly, we need to see kind of what a partnership would mean, right? And what it would look like, and what it would entail. But would
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep you updated. And well, Hugo, thank you so much for coming on. I truly appreciate it. I've had a blast. I've learned a shitload more. I am super excited to follow you guys. Like, you have not announced the mint yet, so I'm not gonna ask you, but like, give me a heads up whenever you guys are minting.
We'll do. We'll do. And I mentioned at the beginning for those who joined late, we're posting all the details on mint dates and sale phases and mint phases and all that on May 13th. And we're posting that on X first. So just a
Nice.
couple of days, and a lot of questions will be answered.
To anyone tuning in, shoot like Misfits order a follow. Like, it's literally a free mint as long as you're part of the communities. Like, the communities, they're listed both on their website, as well as like the ones they're following on Twitter. D-Gods, Devils, Iconito, I'm sure I'm butchering that name, Primates, Drifters, Medievals, and Rogues. I mean, like, I'm really excited about like all the cool features you guys are gonna implement. And again, it's a free fucking mint. Like, we cannot lose here. Plus, we don't know what the art is gonna look like. I like the silhouettes. Let me just like quickly get through those bastards. It's gonna be interesting, right? So yeah,
And I've seen some of the misfits from their back as well, right? Which should give some indication
true.
on what they will look like.
Very mysterious, man. I like it. Well, Yoga, brother, thank you so much for coming on. I
Thanks
think
for
we
having
covered it all, right?
me. You did. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely my pleasure, brother. On to the next one, and appreciate you coming in.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure.
All right, I'll be in touch with you on Orbis.
Awesome. Sounds amazing.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too.
Boom. There we go, folks. What you think? I think that was quite cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think, how can you kind of dislike the free mints? I can't. I literally cannot. I think it's really interesting to see this kind of go-to-market strategy, right? So yeah, I mean, very refreshing. How in the fuck is your Tardio cousin doing this well? JMOs, how are you doing, brother? Bob saying lab will be fun. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is gonna be like incredibly interesting. Let me just. There we go. And I have no clue what to expect, right? Other than a whole bunch of good stuff. Meow, JMOs. I mean, meow. Meowing is cringe though, right? To say it out loud. Ugh. Well, JMOs, what do you think on the of the interview? I think like the go-to-market strategy is like really interesting, if anything. It's hard to dislike anything specifically there. I just cannot. If people are like literally just putting a whole bunch of effort without literally making any funds, chat, isn't that kind of crazy? Got the end, but we'll have to listen later. I'm looking forward to this mint, honestly. Yeah, true. Me too. It's true. Hard to dislike, folks. Hard to dislike. Actually, kind of impossible to dislike, I'm not gonna lie. I literally cannot dislike anyone trying hard. I won't. Yeah, folks. Whoops. All right. Chronic, do you have by any chance have any other quotes from Jordan Peterson? Wait. let me see. Let me see if we can implement like any kind of Jordan Peterson shit here. Give me 1 second. Brody, where can I see your Jordan Peterson quote? Yeah, I'm sure we can cook something. Oh, jeez, fuck. There we go. Brody, where's your Jordan Peterson quote?
Understanding private markets is a passport to new investment opportunities, from energy to infrastructure, private equity.
People, but young men particularly seem to, find something in your message.
To freedom of speech, trump a trans person's right not to be offended.
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now.
Oh my god. Okay, Brody. In order to think, you need to be offensive. You gotta be a risk. Wait, where's your fucking where's this? Oh. No, dude, no, I'm not gonna put that up, Brody, you fucking retard. Oh my. Oh my god. So I'm not gonna link whatever you just like said. Yeah, I mean, like you send it to me. I mean, jolly.
Like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that?
The, climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market, because it just
Question that ends with your comments are banal, politely. I would consider that more of an
Your comments are banal, politely.
opinionated, personal, and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there?
A trans
Why don't you try to just reformulate that question, you fucking retard?
woman is a real woman.
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. I don't know.
I don't like the way the questions are formulated. Oh my god. Well, I mean, that's fucking NFTs for you, right? So, I mean, let's just call a spade because like we can ridicule Jordan Peterson all we want. Yeah, Sango laugh. Yeah, true. We can ridicule Jordan Peterson all we want, and he's there to be ridiculed. Who are we kidding? I mean, and that's kind of my point. Like, I'm not gonna. He's there to be ridiculed. I like him though. It's very, 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 very funny. Yeah, I mean, holy shit. So we about to fucking fly up or what, folks? We taking bets? We're gonna shoot up or no? If we would not shoot up from here, I think like this is this will be D to top 10. I mean, like D to 10. Yeah, for sure. I think so too. I think actually a lot higher. I think that we're gonna have D gods to minimum of this one, and then this one, maybe one last dip. Boom. This is what I think. Check Zombie Dow again. Wait, which? How do we get there again? Oh shit! Wait. DJ Cat is back. 3, 2, 1, go! Boom. Oh fuck. Never mind. Brody, how do? Is it called Zombie Dow? Zombie Dow. Zombies now? Is it this one? No. Senate, yeah. I mean, Brody, what do you want me to show? Senate, true Senate, and boards, primates. Where the fuck is the one though? I don't see it. Ah, there we go. Zeus. That actually looks pretty good. Nice. You gotta get up to get down with it. We don't want to we don't want to look at those stupid apes, Brody. Yeah, fuck off, Brody. We're done with your shit. Dude, we've been fucking looking at it. Like, is this better to you? Recognize me. You're recognized. So yeah, folks, having said that, let me know who you want to see featured next. I am actually right now I'm talking to I've been cooking for you guys. I mean, like, Chef Cat has been like absolutely, I've been preparing something. We have fucking geckos tomorrow, and I think that's it for tomorrow. Wait. Geckos tomorrow. An announcement tomorrow, maybe. Primates on Wednesday. Klooms will be next week. Potentially, I'll have like another short interview with Raposa. More Cat Peterson. Be the beast you want to be. Be vicious in buying NFTs. But protect your loved ones at the same time. Be autistic in curating your collection. But be a beast in getting the best deals. That's Jordan Peterson for you. Cat Peterson. Oh my god. More of Cat Peterson. I mean, like, guys, how low has my life become? But like, it comes with the territory. Just know, folks. Just know that you can sponsor me, like doing these awesome kind of impressions, right? We'll get deeper into like the impressions though. I think like there's we have the best isms. It's true. I think like there's actually there's great opportunity to just like impersonate like Frank Degots.
Lines, what coins to buy, is the right way to win crypto is to, is to make friends, is to network, is to be a part of crypto Twitter and the social circle that crypto is all about. And that's how we met. That's how a lot of people that end up staying around and making a lot end up crushing it.
Just so you understand this, I moved to LA.
It would be too much of a well, what's the word? It would be too easy to come with like the Indian memes, right? But funny nevertheless.
16 months ago. I right now live in a house. Frank D. Gods, Malcolm D. God, Cross, and FaZe Banks, and we've all met through crypto on Twitter.
You gotta shout out FaZe Banks. He's in the room.
Yeah, FaZe Banks.
What the fuck is Frank doing?
Yeah, FaZe Banks. Yeah, FaZe Banks.
Banks, he's in the room.
Yeah, FaZe Banks.
Yeah. I mean, like, that looks... I mean, guys, if it walks like a retard and it talks like a retard, it's probably not a zebra. Frank Digazzo, if you're listening to this, I would literally die to have you on stream. I'm gonna get the guy on stream like sooner or later though. Having said that, folks, let's get through I think there's not a whole lot to say on NFTs right now. Like, it's not a lot has changed. What do you guys think? I will tell you guys this though. Tomorrow we're gonna have geckos on. Very, very fucking good. Finally, I've been trying to get them on for the longest time. Geckos, I haven't really heard like a single bad thing on them, other than like some people don't like the art. I think that's retarded. I actually like the art a lot. I do not have the gecko. I think highly of them though. Waiting for a good Samaritan to just airdrop me one. Just do it. Just give me an a free gecko, folks. All jokes aside, like I think really highly of geckos. I think they're one of like the cooler ones. What do you want me to say? It's time for me to just bounce. You know what? I'm gonna get like if you're listening to this, right? We're gonna do like a few things with the channel. I'm gonna put more effort into YouTube. I've been like actually quite active, but my videos are not doing that well. And we need to fucking change that. So, if you like this content, if you like the alpha, if you like the tism, the bestism, Americantism, then subscribe to YouTube. It's true. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, because we're not fucking done. I see a lot of competition popping up these days, and like, we gotta crush the competition, for fuck's sake. Which we are. Only the bestisms, indeed. Soon, I'm not even kidding on this one. Soon we will actually have a good chunk of great fucking news, I would reckon. So that's gonna be it for now. Follow on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube, and very fucking important, let me know who you want to see featured. Right? Let me know who you deem worthy to get on. I'm not gonna leak it. But DM me if there's anyone you want to see featured, because we're not fucking done. We are not done. Probably somewhere tomorrow, I'm gonna do more of a longer stream, just where I'm gonna cover like the NFT markets, right? Because like, I think this is the time to collect. I really do, folks. This is it. This one is really it. I think this is the greatest asset to collect, and I think like this is the time to fucking do it. So, like, subscribe. We are moving on to the next. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tune in for fucking geckos. I think if you like, I mean, like, this is one of the best names within the space, right? Get me and foreskins on for baby chronic versus fold fish. I mean, Brody, no. Galactic geckos. Let me shill my own bags, and I'm shilling it hard. This is a name I'm so fucking proud of to have on. But I don't think the timing is perfect for America. Let me see what time that is. 1 p.m. CET equals 4 a.m. PST. And what is that? Eastern? Oh, that's okay. It's 7 Eastern. So if you're American and no, I don't give a shit about like the other space. That's not what we do. We are focused on ourselves. Eyes on the prize, MFer. Tomorrow, if you live in Eastern time zone, make sure to set your alarm clock 7 a.m. EST. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking miss Gecko stream? I don't think you should. Allegedly, they have like a big week going on. So don't miss it. Afterwards, I'll have like market stream. We will cover, I mean, like at the end of the day, I'll be your content creator, drug dealer, right? And you're the addicted drug users. 7 a.m. Brody. That's true. Having said that, I fucking appreciate you tuning in. It means a lot. Like it really does. Like we are growing like no fucking tomorrow, right? You tell me what other community is growing harder. I don't think anyone is. Having said that, I'm also looking for sponsorships. We need to do this. We need to make this sustainable. ASAP. There you go. So, Balkan America. There you go. So, if someone knows a party interested, right? Let's do this. Subscribe, or you're gay. That's great Balkan dialect you got there, Chronic. All jokes aside, appreciate you guys tuning in. On to the next one, 7 a.m. EST tomorrow, 1 p.m. CET. We're gonna have Geckos on, and afterwards I'll be streaming. So yeah, that's that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. On to the next one. If you like what I'm doing, this is actually really important. If you like what I'm doing, spread the word. We are not getting any push by like a paid fucking team, and we will, I mean, like, guys, we're going for world fucking domination at the end of the day. Make no mistake, we will be like the biggest NFT stream, and we'll only cover Solana NFTs. Just so you know, this is not, I mean, like, we don't have a choice. We really don't. Like, this is our mission. We're gonna take over the world. Appreciate you guys tuning in. On to the next one. See you guys tomorrow. Appreciate it. Bye.